So the attack we saw this week was, according to the Ukrainians, 18 months in the making.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened was, and this was an ingenious irregular warfare attack on Russia, because as everyone knows, Russia is a much larger military. They have much more personnel as well as a bigger arsenal. So what Ukraine has tried to do is do these covert, smaller attacks to really hit Russia where it hurts. And so over the last several months, the Ukrainians were able to sneak drones across the border into Russia. And then they had these drones loaded onto cargo trucks and driven near 4 different Russian military bases, again, inside Russian territory. From there, they launched the drones, which were carrying bombs, and they bombed the airfields at these 4 different Russian bases, and they took out, according to the Ukrainians, up to 40 Russian fighter jets. And so this was a very monumental attack. That's about 1/3 of Russia's fleet. Now, there are conflicting reports about the level of damage, and if it was as high as 40, we've seen some indications that it could be a little bit lower than that.
Right.
But this was still a dramatic and daring attack, in part because no one was expecting it. We've seen nothing of the kind, and it really was the ingenuity of the Ukrainians behind this attack. And so we've heard from Russian President Vladimir Putin that he will respond to this, and they will respond hard. And a big part of this is some of the planes that were hit were part of Russia's nuclear triad, and so this was a big deal. And that being said, what we saw was a very dramatic moment, because it gave Ukraine a very significant morale boost from what we've seen, and it also, to some extent, leveled the playing field a little bit, because as we've seen, Russia continues to make small gains, is pressing forward, and is holding off on a ceasefire deal that President Trump is pushing for.